Alrighty, people. We've got a bunch of football tomorrow. 3 games on Thanksgiving. And it's going to be a fun day. Hopefully, you're going to be spending time with your family and your friends. And, you know, it's funny. No disrespect to your Giants. But I think they were very intentional about putting Cowboys and Giants at the middle of the day. I genuinely think it's like the perfect take a nap type of game for America.
I'll be completely honest with you. That's really disrespectful. You really shouldn't be talking about a team like that. Let's not. Can we just move on? Let's not do this.
Cry. Have a little cry about it.
Let's not do this.
But we'll be awesome to see Drew Lock for sure.
Yeah, I mean, $5 million quarterback sitting on our bench. Why not? Why not play him?
Well, yeah, with Tommy DeVito injured, they're finally.
And the guy
you guys actually might win this game.
We're paying 42. Yeah, the guy that we're paying 42 million is not even on our team. He's on the Vikings now.
Now he's on the Vikings. You can't you know, do any better as a team builder.
No, but we're gonna get Shedeur Sanders showing his watch every time he scores a touchdown for the Giants.
Perfect. So he'll do it like 3 times next year. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't even scouted the quarterbacks. I have no opinion on him yet.
I have no idea what's gonna happen. All I know is that they've been at 3 or 4 of their games. They've been at 2 of their practices. Him, our GM, and the GM's assistant have been there the whole time. I haven't heard any news of them watching Cam Ward at the moment so far. So I'm not necessarily sure what's going to happen. But
you guys might win some games on the stretch, though. You've got some pretty bad opponents. But anyway, we're wasting your guys' time. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. Got a like goal of 50 likes today. With your help, I know we can get there. What's up, Daniel Macy, one of the OGs? Welcome in, my brother.
How you doing?
All right, so let's let you know the exact flow of today's stream. All right, this is exactly how today's stream is going to go. We are always transparent at the very beginning of every stream and tell you exactly how it's going to play out. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is read some news and notes so we're all on the same page. The next thing that we will do is we will go to our website. Okay, our website is the first place we answer questions every single stream. If there are ever questions here, they will be the first prioritized questions, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. One of the reasons is YouTube takes 30% of your donation when you donate through YouTube. That's obviously not the case here. Obviously, it's better for you guys. It's better for us. When you donate on a super chat, you just got to wait around. When you donate through the website, you get sent a direct link to exactly when we answer your question, so you can submit it, go about your day, and then you'll know that you'll have a response sent straight to you on the Flock Fantasy site. But if you do want to get your questions on the site, check out the pinned comment in the chat. I also just put another one in the chat for you there. And if you don't have a free account on Flock Fantasy just yet, then use the promo code LAND at signup, LAND, and you'll get a couple things for free, like the My Team Analyzer, the Expert Consensus Rankings, the calculator, some of those things. But yeah, so we appreciate y'all. Let's start off with some news and notes. DK Metcalf not practicing Wednesday. A little bit of a surprise, but you know, it's nothing to worry about just yet.
There's been a couple times where he didn't practice on Wednesday and then practices on Thursday, or he doesn't practice on Thursday and practices on Friday. So just wait until Friday just to see if he's going to practice, because he normally gets a full participation at the end of the week there.
Will Disley on the groin index doesn't practice Wednesday. A bit of a surprise pop-up there. Devonta Smith didn't practice Wednesday, again with the hamstring. One of my starts of the week. Let's hope he gets some limited practices in, because he'll be a smash play if he gets he gets healthy enough to play the Ravens this week. Anything else? Alexander Madison limited in practice, so if you were betting on Amir Abdullah this week, probably not a good sign. Trevor Lawrence was officially limited in practice Wednesday again, so that's back-to-back limited participations. This is great for Brian Thomas if you have him out there. We love to see that. Brian Robinson Jr., this is a surprise to me. I did not anticipate him playing this week or practicing this week, to be honest, considering he didn't play much of the second half. So this is great news. He has a legit shot to play this week, which is great for B-Rob owners. Darnell Mooney is limited as well with the Achilles injury. Again, another great sign for him, getting a limited participation in. Both Montgomery and St. Brown are going to play. That's my opinion. Hasn't been officially, listed, but I believe they will play. Romeo Doubs is not going to play this week, so the target share might be a little more precise with your reads and, I guess Wicks and Watson. Maybe Tucker Kraft, who knows. Brock Purdy is a limited participant. That's great. Aiden O'Connell is going to start on Friday for the Raiders. Isaiah Pacheco is going to play. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Keon Coleman is limited with that wrist injury still. And like we said earlier, Tommy DeVito is not going to play. It's going to be Drew Lock. Oh, I guess the other big thing is Breece Hall didn't practice.
That's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, that was pretty big, wasn't it?
I mean,
So
yeah, coming off his bye, not practicing on the Wednesday, but I mean, maybe it's just a rest day. I'm not necessarily sure, but if he doesn't practice tomorrow, then I think that could be a huge indication of him potentially not playing. But at the same time, it is Thanksgiving. Do these guys work on Thanksgiving, or is this going to be a estimate, not practice report, if they were to be coming in for like an hour or two and then going back home? I think that a lot of gray areas is going to be on Thursday, Friday because of Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and so on and so forth. So it might be one of those late reports coming through soon.
yeah, it is weird that they like off a bye week. That's the strange part. Daniel Jones signs with the Vikings. I guess this is probably like I don't understand it.
I mean, long term makes sense, but like, because if Sam Darnold gets back somewhere else,
is he going to be their backup with JJ McCarthy long term? I don't get
that's what I think was going to happen, because they're not going to be able to sign Sam Darnold unless Sam Darnold goes out and wins the Super Bowl type vibe.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Anyways.
All right, that's pretty much it for the news. So let's get straight to your questions. Again, if you want to prioritize your questions, the best way to do that is through our website. I'll put a link in the chat for you now. Otherwise, we will go in order on the site, and then when there's no question on the site, over to YouTube. We appreciate all of you guys. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. Got a like goal today of 50, and it is the last stream that we will be live until Saturday. So we won't be live on Thanksgiving. We won't be live on Black Friday. So this is your last chance to get a question in. And Boss is the first one here. It's a 16-team league. He's 6-6. Start Reed or McLaurin at the flex is the question. It says 16-team. So Brock Purdy is their starter. Then JT, Breece, Pickens, Kupp, and Njoku. And they're deciding between Terry McLaurin and Jayden Reed in the flex. I'm still going to go Terry McLaurin. Don't love what we're seeing right now in Washington, but he's been far more reliable than Jayden Reed recently. And you can make a case that Jayden Reed, with no Romeo Doubs could be a bigger play, but I just think we've seen a little more consistency with Terry McLaurin, so that's the way I would lean there, especially with Snead on IR.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm going to go. I think I'm just going to continue with the guy that's number one target there. I do like Jayden Reed. I think he should be started in any way, shape, or form. But in your league, you have some great options. So I have Terry over Jayden Reed. But the argument could be this week, with no, like Zach said, with no Romeo. But appreciate you, boss. Thank you so much for that question. Lauren Smith is next. Says, I originally offered Pacheco and Chuba for Gibbs, but was countered. I'm conflicted. What do you think? So you are sending away Chuba Hubbard, Isaiah Pacheco, and Chase Brown, and you're receiving Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jameson Williams here. This is a one quarterback, 10-team start 8. So you have Joe Burrow, Devonta Smith, and you'll be getting Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Is it? Okay, so basically they added in Chase Brown, and they wanted to give you Taylor and Jameson.
You have tight ends. Okay, I mean, I think I'm okay. I'm okay with this because I'm not necessarily sure, and which I've been saying, like I'm not sure what Pacheco's outlook is going to be with Kareem Hunt there. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm going to be comfortable starting him unless in the next 2 weeks he's going to get 19 opportunities and he's going to be scoring over 15 fantasy points. I think if something like that happens, sure. But I like Jahmyr Gibbs, and I still like Jonathan Taylor. I think what he's going to be outputting still, even though that offense I'm not in love with, I'll rather take the chance because the highest ceiling here is Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jonathan Taylor still gives you a decent floor.
So as a Jonathan Taylor owner, I am concerned. It's the offense. I don't want to be mean to Anthony Richardson, but the offense sucks.
It's shit.
It sucks. And it's
Yeah,
not
it's bad.
really all on him. Like, he's played much better since coming back from the bye week. But they are doing everything they can to stop Jonathan Taylor from producing. Like, I don't understand the way the Colts are deploying their offense, specifically their run game. It is so confusing to me. There's so much shotgun. They're giving him no opportunity to gain any momentum before the offensive line. And the offensive line is playing really poorly. There's really no threat. Like, yes, Anthony Richardson's thrown the ball better, but there's no threat through the air that's stopping you from stopping the run. Like, every time JT touches the ball, it feels like he's being touched in the backfield. It honestly sucks. So I am a little concerned about this move because I would send Jonathan Taylor away for Chase Brown in a heartbeat right now. I would do that so quick. It wouldn't even be close. And your original offer was Pacheco and Chuba for Gibbs. But in this counter, they want Chase Brown, and they're going to send you Jonathan Taylor and Jameson Williams. If I had Jonathan Taylor and Jameson Williams, I would send them away for Chase Brown in a heartbeat right now. That's how scared I am of Jonathan Taylor. Now, here's the good news for Jonathan Taylor owners. He does have an incredible matchup this week. All signs say he should bounce back in a huge way against the New England Patriots. But in the playoffs, you've got Denver, then you've got Tennessee, and then I guess the Giants. Okay, that's the matchup you're looking towards. But those first two matchups are not really ideal for him anyway. When they get behind in games, he's useless. He shouldn't be, by the way, but he is useless in negative game scripts. They don't get him involved in the air. And Shane Steichen, for all this talk about him being some offensive guru, like, with respect, your offense sucks. Genuinely. I hate watching your offense. So I don't like it, man. I'm just not a fan of this, dude.
I get it. I can understand, and I think if
he
you're
just
not
lost
a fan
J.K. Dobbins, by the way.
Yeah, and if you're not a fan of this either, well, that's pretty big, you know. So like, getting Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, does boost your team. So this is a start 8. So Joe Burrow, Devon Achane. Your team is Chuba Hubbard. Then you have AJ Brown, Drake London. Then you have TJ Hawkinson, and then you have 2 flex spots, which is either T Higgins and Chase Brown.
I guess the question we should be asking ourselves, Badaki, is his starting lineup better with or without this trade? So, like we said, with this, if you keep your players that you currently have, you would be starting Burrow, Achane, Chase Brown. You would be starting AJ Brown, Drake London, and TJ Hawkinson, and you'd be flexing T Higgins and Chuba, or T Higgins and Juwan Jennings.
It's like, all right, the way I'm seeing this is that you just flip out, right? Like, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is an upgrade from Chuba or Chase, sure. So in reality, you're going to be flexing either Jonathan Taylor or Chase Brown, essentially.
I'd rather flex Chase Brown.
Sure. So however way, and I think it boosts your offense with Jahmyr Gibbs, in my opinion. So I think it just depends on how you feel about Jonathan Taylor, and if you think, you know, I think New England can be an interesting matchup this week. Then he has a bye week, which is unfortunate. Denver is going to be tough. The Titans, I think, are middle of the pack, and then you have the Giants.
That's the thing. I think he has a good game this week. I really do. I think Taylor has a good game this week. Yeah. But then he's on bye, and then he doesn't have some good matchups in the playoffs.
And then Chase Brown, in playoffs, he has the Titans as well, Cleveland, which is technically tough, and then Denver. So he has 2 out of technically all 3 matches are tougher than what Jonathan Taylor's matches technically are.
The difference is that Chase Brown is averaging about 7 targets per game in this offense. Yeah. Taylor is not involved in the air at all. It sucks.
So it just depends on how you value it. I think with this, for me, in my opinion, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a big enough boost to Jonathan Taylor. If he's going to get me 9 to 14 points, which I know that's a big gap, but that's kind of what he's either going to get you 9 or he can get you 14 or 15 points. And if you want to take those risks, sure, I'll be okay with that because of how big Jahmyr Gibbs' boost is going to be in my opinion. I mean, right now he's averaging, what is he averaging right now? I'm trying to pull that up. So I know he's RB4 right now. Gosh, this is so slow. Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs right now RB4, averaging 18.8 fantasy points per game.
So
Um,
I get that side of it. My side of it is I'm gonna hold Chuba Pacheco Brown.
mhm.
I think Chase Brown could be an upgrade over Jahmyr Gibbs, but I couldn't bet my house on from this point of the season onwards, Jahmyr Gibbs outscoring Chase Brown. It's probably gonna happen, but not to the point where I have the conviction to make this deal. Without Zach Moss, Chase Brown's averaging over 22 points per game. He's getting about 7 targets per game. So with that being the potential upgrade and the reason why you make this deal, it's just not enough for me. So
Yeah, that's
I'm going to
fair.
hold, and I can see both sides of the argument. All right, moving on. Isaac Rodriguez here with a start sit. At quarterback, he's got Bo Nix and Baker Mayfield, so he's got some great options there. Yeah, wow. Bo
Wait,
Nix
who? Bo
and
Nix?
Baker Mayfield.
Isaac Rodriguez. You're seeing Bo Nix and Baker Mayfield. I'm seeing Jaden Daniels and Justin Herbert. Sorry, am I tripping? And did I pick the wrong one?
He's got
Oh,
two
he's submitted
questions.
too. So I must have picked. Sorry, you're right. I picked the second one. I didn't realize. Go ahead.
So, Baker Mayfield or Bo Nix? We have to answer that question first. Baker Mayfield's matchup is actually one of the best matchups in fantasy for your quarterback. It's a top 4 matchup for quarterbacks. Bo Nix versus the Cleveland Browns. I'll have to double check on Cleveland. They're more middle of the pack. So if you're doing this based off of matchup, then Baker Mayfield is your answer. But it feels like Bo Nix is going to be more needed in this matchup. Like, could we see a repeat of last week where they have 3 rushing touchdowns at Carolina for the Bucks? I think that's a possibility. Where does your, intuition lead you here?
For me, I'll go Baker Mayfield. I think this is a divisional game. I'm giving the credit to, Carolina. I think they have been playing a lot better. They, have been. Gosh, is my mic been peaking the whole time? By the way, guys, you guys let me know.
Doesn't sound like it's speaking in my ears, but
It does sound. It doesn't sound like it's speaking.
no.
Okay. I just realized it was like turned up hella high. But the way I'm seeing it is that this is a divisional game. The Panthers in the last couple games, I mean, they took the Chiefs on a run, which I don't think anyone was expecting, and
Sure.
I think they're just playing better. So I just want Baker Mayfield in what I'm predicting to be a high-scoring game, maybe.
They are back-to-back in my rankings. Baker and Bo Nix are.
Yeah.
So after that, he's got a flex question where Bucky, Cook, Neighbors, Metcalf. Oh my gosh. Wow. These are all players I really want to start this week. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't want to sit any of these names, but
Yeah. It's
wow. That's an impossible question to answer. I'll probably say no to DK Metcalf just because of Sauce Gardner. He probably overcomes it, but that's enough in a tough decision here to say no to that. Malik Neighbors is interesting, but I guess if you have other options like Cook and Irving, then you might lean that way for more security.
Yeah, I think this is such a wrong answer. Like, not a wrong answer, a tough question. I think all these guys should be started, like Zach said.
I'll go James Cook. Love Bucky this week, but I'll go
That's
James
where I was
Cook.
gonna go.
San Fran is actually a top 8 matchup for your running back in fantasy so far when you adjust for schedule. And yeah, I'll be honest, like, you're kind of like, this question here is kind of setting us up for failure because any of these guys could outscore the other, but I'll lean James Cook with the matchup versus the Niners, and should be a snowy game, which should benefit him. He should get more opportunities, I think.
Yeah.
Let me double check that. Is that still on track for snow? Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
It actually, the percentage went up today, so 80% chance of snow.
Isaac with another question here, looking at a start sit. It's a 12-team start 7. Jaden Daniels or Justin Herbert. Are we going Jaden Daniels here? Not sure what Zach would be going.
Same.
Okay. And then he's considering at the flex option, really similar. All guys we feel like maybe should be started.
Damn,
Bucky, Mike
those
Evans,
three
and Tyreek.
Yeah, wow.
I'm gonna go Mike Evans here, though. I think he wasn't necessarily needed last week against the Giants.
He looked great. He really looked good.
I just think that, once again, going off the narrative that I'm thinking, the Panthers have been playing pretty well. This is a divisional game, and I know It may not sound exciting, but I think they can take him. They can go blow for blow in this game, to be completely honest with you. So that's kind of where I'm going to be leaning.
Yeah, I lean Mike Evans as well, but I am a little concerned that if there's a blowout, Bucky would have been the right choice. So
Sure.
that is slightly concerning. You really have to hope that Carolina keeps up, because Badaki, I am 100% convinced that if your Giants were able to score even 17 points, even if you're able to put up 17, even 10, that Mike Evans probably would have had a 100-yard game, because they were on time. They were completely in sync. He looked fantastic. He was getting open. He was making catches, but they didn't need him at all in the second half. They had no reason to throw the ball to him. So I am going to go Mike Evans, but there is a part of me that is scared because, again, if this is a blowout, then Bucky would have been the right choice, in my opinion. So let's hope the Panthers can keep up. Divisional game. That is a great point. Divisional games are always different to what you anticipate them being.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jay Mall, appreciate you. He says in 5th versus number 1, QB only, Bucky, J-Mo, Kittle, and Jonnu. Okay, so looking at your quarterback position here, Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, and Matthew Stafford.
Goff's kind of been a sleeping giant recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, Goff has been great. And
actually, no, he hasn't. I'm sorry I said that. He's only had one good game in the past 4 weeks. 5 weeks.
I just think in general, like, he's been a top 12 quarterback. I think it's been good throughout the season. But yeah, like, he hasn't been going like crazy back to back.
The issue is you've really only been okay, I'm sorry. I definitely need to take back what I said, because okay, so how many games do you think he scored over 20 points this year?
I don't know, like 3 or 4. I know he had like that
3.
big 30 bomb game.
3 out of 11 games. So I'm gonna take back what I said. That's my bad. They you know, to be fair though, but actually, like, a lot of the offense is running through Gibbs and Monty more than we anticipated.
I just think, you know, probably drafting Jared Goff where you got him, I think it's great. I'm
gonna go Kyler here.
And what he's been doing. But yes, Kyler Murray is the play here with the rushing upside. And it's technically a tough matchup with the Vikings because they can score. So there are going to be a lot of throwing opportunities there for Kyler. You're starting Derrick Henry. Then you have Kamani Vidal, Tyrone Tracy, and Bucky Irving here. I'm going to go Bucky as well.
I'm riding Bucky all week long. Pause. No, for real, though.
Pause. Are you okay?
I mean, until he says pause. We're going multiple rounds. Okay.
Then at the wide receiver 2 position, it's a little bit shaky here. So you got Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, technically wide receiver 3 if you really want to.
Going J-Mo. No one's secured. No one has a safe floor. J-Mo has the highest upside.
Yeah. I was thinking of Demario Douglas versus the Colts. I'll rock with you with J-Mo.
At tight end, you got to start George Kittle. And then
I mean, it's a slow game, though, to be fair. So is he going to be utilized often?
Well, the last snow game we saw was pass happy game. So who the hell knows anymore?
Yeah.
But I guess it's more about the wind than it is the snow. And that's what I would love to know. Like, what does the wind actually say? Okay, well, that's not a helpful link, is it?
I would just say this, like, I've been saying this all week. When Mike Daniels, coach, once he finds something, he likes to stick to it, and it's clear that he loves what he's getting with Jonnu right now. So if you are concerned about the weather, I wouldn't be opposed to starting Jonnu Smith over George Kittle specifically this week. If
I guess the question is
that crazy.
Assuming the weather isn't terrible, then I would start Kittle. But let's say if the weather isn't bad, you're starting Kittle. What about the flex? Is it Tyrone or Jonnu Smith? That's the options I would consider.
I would just start Tyrone there.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
yeah, that's a tough call.
It is a tough call, and it's gonna be difficult because obviously, you know, you're going to have to start Jonnu Smith early and figure that out now and just make that decision before game time.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one because
with Debo playing so poorly and If I think if Brock Purdy plays, it's enough for me to be like, let's just roll with Kittle. They're going to be down, I think, in this game as well. But anyway, that's a tough call, really, J-Maul. Hopefully that is helpful. It's Dev here with a start-sit question. They got Lamar, Henry, Brown, London, Higgins, Hawkinson. At flex, I think this is going to be Jacoby Myers for me. He's just been very consistent. And I am a little bit concerned about the quarterback change. But Jacoby Myers, they have played together before. It's a bad matchup, but you know, I just trust him a little bit more than these other guys. D-Hop has played under 50% of the snaps in back-to-back weeks. That's just tough to trust right now.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. And it's Dev also put in another question here. Yep. A lot to consider in this flex: Jerry Jeudy, Jacoby Myers, and TJ Hawkinson. Gosh, I would go. For me, I'm contemplating between Hawkinson and Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I get that. I think Hawkinson is a play for me.
Yeah, and I'm just pulling up Jerry. I like Jerry. Technically has a tough matchup because he's going against Patrick Surtain, or maybe he's not. He's going against the slot corner.
I think Elijah will probably be put in the slot.
Yeah.
I'll move them both around, but Elijah's probably in the slot more than Jerry.
I'll go TJ there with you.
I don't mind starting Jerry if he's your best option, but I do like TJ. He's been a focal point of that offense. Jacob, what's up, man? Baker Mayfield, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase, Kate Otten. And at the flex spot, you are loaded. Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Bucky Irving, Tyrone Tracy. I am considering...
Depends on what you need.
I just want to start Bucky everywhere I have him. I just don't think it's crazy to consider him this week.
Like, if the other team has...
Would you start Tyreek or Neighbors? We haven't had that question yet. Sorry to interrupt, but...
I would start Neighbors still.
I think he's a safer floor.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was going to go. It depends on what you need. If you need a high upside type of play, I feel like Bucky could potentially be that guy. If you need a safe floor, I feel like Malik could be that guy. Once again, if somebody on the other team has a Jackson Smith and Jigba and DK doesn't play, maybe you need a high upside type of play. Or if the other person on the team has a Terry McLaurin in the flex, maybe you just go with the safe floor. I don't know. Like, all these guys should be started, and maybe you need to giga-brain it just a little bit. But I'm just gonna go with the high upside play, which oddly enough, that is Bucky Irving here.
Yeah, I love a lot of these options. Quite frankly, with your lineup, you definitely should consolidate. If your trade deadline hasn't happened just yet, you should package Kate Otten and Jerry Jeudy, Kate Otten and Tyrone Tracy, Kate Otten and, you know, something to go get like a Brock Bowers, a Trey McBride, like a top name there. You know, I love Baker Mayfield, but you could package Baker Mayfield and a Tyrone, or Baker Mayfield and a you know, Jerry Jeudy, and go out and get, you know, Jalen Hurts or something like that. So yeah, tough
Appreciate
question.
you, Jacob. Thank you so much. Easy E is next. He says runs with Anthony Richardson or Tua Kirk May on waivers. I personally will pick up Tua. I personally pick up Kirk and Drake May over all of them. Personally, if I had to put an order, I'm picking up Tua, then Kirk, then May. I like Kirk this week. He's going against the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. It should be a high-scoring game if I'm thinking about the narrative. They're playing at home, so just going based off that, I want to start Kirk Cousins there.
I would start A-Rich over everyone except for Tua. So if you want to pick up Tua and play him this week, I don't mind that. But I would start A-Rich over all those other names against the New England Patriots this week.
Second part of that question says sit 2, Tracy, Ramondre, Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Downs plus Pierce out. So looking at your team here, I think that this is exactly how I would go. I'm starting Tracy. I would sit Ramondre Stevenson for Tracy.
Yeah, he didn't give that as an option.
He didn't give that as an option. And I wouldn't be starting Michael Pittman over Garrett Wilson
Yeah,
So
I
I
would
think what you have right there is fine.
I would sit Ramondre and Pittman as well with the options that he has. So hopefully that gives
Yeah.
you a little confidence heading into the week. What's up, R. Dave says opted for Bucky last week and won, unsure at running back and flex. They've got Daniels at RB. They've got some great options.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
gonna
I mean,
start some of these
here's
guys
what I'll
on
say.
the
I
flex
think we're
option.
both starting Bucky with confidence. I think we're both starting Chuba. I don't
Yeah.
love Connor's matchup, but I'm probably going to start James Conner over all your flex options as well. So
Exactly.
I think we'll start
Exactly.
all three of those running backs, including the flex.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly where I was gonna go.
yeah, Jawan Jennings could be a play, but with the weather, no. We want to see Pacheco play first before we play him. Quentin Johnston might be banned into the shadow realm. So yeah, I think that's the way we would go. R. Daves, appreciate you, man.
Thank you so
Michael
much.
Cav here with the start sit. He says, need advice at quarterback, also at flex. Murray after a bust game or Stafford throwing to Puka and Cup. All right. So question is Kyler Murray or Matt Stafford? I'm still going to go Kyler Murray myself. I can definitely
Agreed.
understand like how it's frustrating with Kyler Murray right now. There's been boom, there's been bust. And it's funny, like against technically good defenses, he's gone off like the New York
He's
Jets.
Exactly.
And Miami's a tough matchup. The Chargers are a tough matchup. He's gone off versus all these tough defenses and flopped when you thought he was going to dominate. Versus Minnesota, it's a matchup where it's going to be competitive. I don't see Kyler not being needed at any point, throughout this game. So I'm going to go Kyler myself, but that's a tough call.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kyler as well. Completely agree. I'm still gonna be leaning on that rushing upside there. And at the flex, I think this is pretty easy. I'll be going George Pickens.
Hell yeah. I love you, George. Do your thing, baby.
The yo thing, the yo thing.
Thanks for the
You
question,
ugly.
Michael.
Daniel,
Refresh here.
007. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Says, boys, what a fun year. Thank you both. It's been a lot of fun. Can't wait for the next year. Rip Hunt.
You know what, Daniel? I appreciate you, but I don't like the tone in this because it sounds like you've given up. That's what I don't like. All right. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it sounds like, hey, man, it's been one hell of a ride.
I lost, so I'm out.
I'm out of here. There's no way I can make it. You know what? We play for pride, even if we're out. All right. Get into that toilet bowl and make some damn noise. If your league has a last place punishment, you got to make sure you're making the right moves. But Daniel, I might be reading this wrong, but I appreciate you either way, my man.
I appreciate you, man.
I just
Thank
don't
you
want
so
it to
much.
be like, hey, we tried and now I'm going to give up. I mean, you're 5-7 in the flock league and you're not giving up.
No, I can still make it into the playoffs.
Exactly.
My mental health wasn't okay this whole week, but it's a new week. I'm turning the page, and football's tomorrow. So use promo code LAND at BetterHelp. That's terrible.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'd love to get a sponsorship with him. But we appreciate you, Daniel. Thanks for the love, my man. And don't give up. Don't give up.
Nah, don't give up. Dingo G10, appreciate you. He says loss to consider from 2-5 to 6-6 on a playoff cuffs. That's amazing. So it looks like you set your starting line on Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, David Montgomery, Kyron Williams there. I'm not starting any other running backs in that position. You have T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen. I'm not starting Keon Coleman or Jawan Jennings. Maybe I would start Jawan Jennings over Keenan Allen if it wasn't a snow game, but you're gonna have to go there. And it looks like you have two tight ends that you have to start, and I wouldn't be starting Jawan Jennings or Keon Coleman at the flex option over a TJ. So that starting lineup is kind of exactly the way I would have it there.
It's a tough one because, again, if there was no snow, it'd be easy to put Jennings out there ahead of Keenan. But
I mean, we said that last week with Jerry Jeudy as well, and we all wish that we started Jerry Jeudy if you had him. But it's just hard. This is a completely different game. Yeah.
I mean, well, right now my rankings say Jawan Jennings, but I haven't really accounted for the snow game just yet in my rankings. So
And the Bears play tomorrow, so like you're gonna have to make that decision immediately.
Yeah.
If you not necessarily. Well, you technically do have an option to sit like a Taysom Hill because he plays in the second slate, those afternoon games on Sunday. If you wanted to throw in, so I think for sure you're starting T.J. Hawkinson, so put him in your main tight end spot. But then you can have that option if you really wanted to know a little bit more information about the 49ers
Yeah.
the
I feel
49ers
like
Bills
you almost
games.
have to start Keenan Allen, because if you don't and it is a true snow game, then you might be screwed over. Like Badaki said, you
Yeah.
kind of want that flexibility. That's a tough place to be in. I don't envy you, but good luck this week. Burnout
Yeah.
2K with the question. At quarterback, they've got Mahomes and Herbert. I'm pretty comfortably going Justin Herbert this week. I don't know about you.
Agreed.
But against the Atlanta Falcons, I like the over-under there. I am expecting a lot of fantasy points, and Justin Herbert's been great. You know, he's in the first half of the season, he was averaging like 6 rushing yards per game. In the second half, he's like almost 36. It gives you such a safe floor. And with no J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards has been really inefficient before he got injured. I think they might shut Gus Edwards down, and I think they might have to throw more than they really want to as an offense. So I'm going to go Justin Herbert there.
I agree. Going Justin Herbert there. At the running back position,
Wow.
you have a couple good options here. I'm going to go James Conner and then Kyron Williams. You might have to start one of these guys in the flex, depending. But that's where I will go for now. Then I'll
I
go
lean Tyrone. I think I lean Tyrone over Connor, but let's
And that's fine.
let's
Yeah.
look at the flex before we even debate it.
at the wide receiver position. I would be going Terry and Garrett Wilson. I'm not sure if you
Yeah, no, I agree there.
start Waddle.
And then I think I would start Connor in the flex over the wide receivers
Waddle?
available.
Yeah.
Would you start Tyrone over them?
No. Well, technically, in the way I have it is just Tyrone in the flex. So we just swapped it. So I agree with you.
That's what I'm asking. Would you start
Yeah.
Tyrone over Waddle, Debo, JMO?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So we're on the same page, just different priorities of rankings between Tyrone and James Conner. But either way, we're still starting both of them. And, you know, I'll say this because we said it for like 5 weeks, Badaki, but we said Jalen Waddle can have a blow-up game any week. And
he did.
after 3 weeks, no one believed us. And then he did it, right? And I'm going to say the same thing about Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel can have a blow-up week any week. It can be possible. But if you're looking for consistency, it's hard to not start one of these running backs over those options. With Tyrone, you just have to hope that there's no... Have you heard anything on Twitter? Maybe you probably haven't been looking, but has there been any confirmation that, like, has he lost his job? You know, like those kind of type of conversations? Okay.
There hasn't been anything. You know, I follow the Giants Twitter beat writers space a lot, and they haven't really said anything.
Okay.
You know, they said they believe in Tyrone. I think they're going to continue to give him the workload, but
it's crazy because he's so efficient and he's so effective. He just needs to hold on to the damn ball. Again, it reminds me of Antonio Gibson when I was excited about him when he was a rookie. But
I think he gets too excited. Like, I think he's so focused on trying to break the tackles that he's not protecting the ball, obviously. And maybe that's what, I don't know. But I think he'll be fine. I hope he doesn't turn into Antonio Gibson.
What game is it where they put like sticky things on the guy's glove and then he goes break and his hands are stuck like that? Is that Little Giants or is that a different?
The Little Giants. Yeah, he puts like sticky stuff. And
maybe we need to figure something out for Tyrone. But yeah, this is the way I would go. It should be a good matchup for him. All right, J-Pack here with a start sit. They've got Lamar, Henry, Bijan, Neighbors, Pickens, Kelsey. And at the flex, they're deciding between Reed, Jameson, Kareem Hunt. I think this is where we would both go Jaden Reed. With no Romeo Dobbs. There should be more targets up for grabs. I like Kareem Hunt this week. I really do, but I don't know what Pacheco's role will be. There's a possibility Pacheco's not involved at all. And we're like, damn, you should have started Kareem Hunt. But we just don't know that. And without knowing that, we're going to go Jaden Reed in a matchup where it should be fun. You know, Packers, Dolphins. It feels like a really weird Thanksgiving game, though. Packers, Dolphins feels...
Packers, Dolphins. Normally it's like Packers, Bears, Packers, Lions.
Yeah, it feels
Packers,
wrong.
Vikings. I guess maybe they didn't want 2 divisional games in that. Well, technically, there's 3 teams in that division playing on Thanksgiving. They should have just had the 2. Like, that division is so close that they should have just had Packers and Vikings in that. That would have been crazy, but I don't know.
It just doesn't feel right to do Packers. The Dolphins side of it, sorry. The Dolphins side feels wrong. It doesn't feel like it is Thanksgiving, but it is, so who cares? But anyway, that's how we would start your lineup. Appreciate you, J-Pack. And I think that is all the questions on the website for now. Again, if you're watching this and you want to prioritize your question, anytime there's a question submitted through the website, it is the first place that we will go. So I'll put a link in the chat for you to submit your question there. No pressure to do so, but you can at any moment. And keep in mind, this is the last time we will be live until Saturday. So we won't be live for Thanksgiving games or Black Friday. So if you want your questions answered, this is the stream to get it done before Saturday. All right, we do have some super chats over here on YouTube, so let's get to those super chats. Shout out to you guys on YouTube. We appreciate y'all showing love, showing support.
Card Chisel says, I live in Buffalo and we got weather advisory, so snow game. The question to you, what's the wind advisory? Is it a crazy wind game like we saw in Cleveland, or is it just snowing?
Well, we didn't see much wind in Cleveland though. It was more just the snow.
It was snowing sideways. Yeah, you're right. That's actually true. It was just snowing hella sideways.
If the wind was a big problem, then we wouldn't have had that passing game, I don't think. But yeah, important information to know.
Let us know. Do
us a favor, hit that like button, show some love. By the way, we're about 20 likes away from our goal, which is 50. We appreciate y'all. But let's go to Shane here.
Yeah, it says start one golf tour, Stroud or A-Rich. Also trade Garrett for Pickens.
Oh yeah, give me Pickens in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll take George Pickens. At the quarterback position, in order, I will go Tua, then Tua, A-Rich, Stroud, and then the golf.
Stroud
has a good matchup against the Jags, technically.
Weird situation. I would go Tua, A-Rich. I would go Tua, Stroud, A-Rich.
Okay.
In that order. But it's close. But we both agree we would rather have Pickens than Garrett Wilson rest of season.
Then Garrett Wilson rest of season. Yeah, 100%. Sir Yeti. It's not even Sir Yeti Jaden Daniels. He just changed it to Sir Yeti. I think this might be him. Correct us if we're wrong. Terry, Hill, Neighbors, Evans, Chase, Brown, bench 1.
Well, it was Ben Sinnott at one point, wasn't it?
It was Ben Sinnott, and then he went to Jaden Daniels, and then it's just Sir Yeti. I'm sitting Tyreek Hill. I'm starting everyone else.
Ooh. I love that you have confidence in Terry because I have him in the Flock League. I need that to transfer to me. But just watching these games as a Washington fan is so frustrating. And if you look at targets over the last 4 games, Terry McLaurin's 4th on the team.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. I just
it's not fine at all.
I guess in my perspective, he's the number 1 target. He could get doubled, tripled. But I mean, he's only had 3 games under double-digit points. And yes, that game in Dallas did save him. That one big play did save him. But
yeah, that's not a replicable play. If that doesn't happen, it's not good. I mean, look, he is 4th in the last 4 weeks. Zach Ertz has 24. Noah Brown leads the way. Eckler has more targets than Terry McLaurin. I mean, by the way, I really don't like Dov. I won't speak bad on anybody on Twitter. I do not like this account, but they were the only one who I found quickly that reported it. But, of course, they stole it from Ian Hartz. That makes sense. That's not surprising at all. But anyway, it's concerning to me. Both as a Washington fan, as an owner, and as an owner of Terry McLaurin, it's really concerning to see. I am worried that Cliff Kingsbury is not going to adjust at all. But man, let's hope he does. I really hope he does.
Yeah.
But again, answering the question, my rankings say Terry's the bench.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. So Zach's sitting Terry, it's Terry, and I'm sitting Tyreek, which is crazy. And then Hunter Henry or Jonnu Smith, both have Hunter Henry has a great matchup. Jonnu Smith has just been getting the ball. I'm just gonna go Jonnu Smith here.
Okay, I'll go Hunter. Love the matchup. I'm gonna ride the hot hand. The Colts, and I think they'll be down in this game. I think they'll need Hunter Henry. We've seen big blow-up games against the Colts this year. Cole Kmet had his best game against them. Pat Freiermuth had 70 yards and a touchdown. So I can see Jonnu Smith being up and down. I just think there's more consistency with Hunter Henry. But yeah, two different answers from two different people, and
Two
you know
different
we're sometimes I'm right, sometimes Benaki's right. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But hopefully, just listen to our logic, and then whichever one you feel you agree with more, you know, that's the way you go. But
John.
yeah, go ahead, John.
John is next. He says Stroud or Purdy. I'll be going Stroud in the snow game. I don't want to start Purdy.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Hawkinson or the Porta given matchup. I'm just gonna go TJ. He's just been the more consistent. The more consistent, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
ever since
definitely.
he's been back. So
Laporta has been. I can't think of a time that we had a rookie finish as the tight end one, and then, well, first off, that's really never happened. Okay, so that first off is history on its own, and then to come back and be like one of the worst tight ends drafted by far, not even close. I mean, you could have drafted Sam Laporta in the 10th round; it would have been a bust pick. It's been so bad.
It's crazy. And you know what's crazy is that Brock Bowers is doing what Sam Laporta did last year, but there's just like no competition. Yeah, no touchdowns. It's just there's no one else competing for that number one spot.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? Last year, Sam Laporta had, well, I guess he didn't really have Kelsey technically last year, but I mean, he had everyone else. It kind of felt like he had, well, actually, no. Thinking about it now, he didn't have anyone either. Sam, I mean, think about it. Like he didn't have. When I say he didn't have anyone, I mean like it was a down year last year for tight ends as well. Last year, that's why the price for tight ends was so good this year, and now it's just completely shit itself.
You know, Trey McBride is the tight end 3 on a points per game basis, and he has 0 touchdowns this year. I mean, imagine if he had 3 touchdowns, where does he rank? If he has 4 touchdowns, where does he rank? I mean, it's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go Hawkinson. Fred says Tua or Murray. Tua or Murray. I'm going to go Kyler myself. Again, just the rushing upside. I like the idea of that Vikings-Cardinals game being back and forth. And, yeah, that's the way I'm rolling here myself.
Yeah. I'll go Murray with you. I think Tua can have a really good game. Alden, I think that's how we say it. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Tua or Caleb, and Waddle or Pittman. Let's go there. Tua or Caleb. I'll go Tua. And Waddle or Pittman. I'm going to go.
Wow. Yeah, that might be one of the harder questions to answer this week. Pittman or Waddle, because there's no Josh Downs, so your mind goes, okay, Pittman's going to have a good game. But the issue is you're relying on Anthony Richardson.
I'll go Waddle. I'm going to go with Waddle. Yeah, I'm going to go Waddle because he's going to be needed. I think the Packers are going to score.
He makes a good point, though. Like, in the cold weather, the Dolphins are awful.
Is it like, is it freezing? Is it like
should be cold, like
the tundra type vibe, or is it just like a 50-degree type game?
It's 24 degrees Fahrenheit, right? 32 degrees is freezing, so 24 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's a 7% chance of rain. That could change, but it'll be cold.
All right.
It'll be real cold, man. I'm gonna go Waddle, but look, if you got a feeling about Pittman, you can go that way. I just don't trust Anthony Richardson, and the Pats got a real nice corner in Gonzalez. Washington, we could have had him, man. He was right there. What did we do? Why did we take Emmanuel Forbes? Anyway,
Forbes. Shout out to him. Go watch that.
I'll never forget that. That will always live rent-free in my head. And, man, I'm so glad we got rid of that. I'm so glad the entire organization's changed since then. Daryl with the super chat says flex to Tracy, Waddle, Jonnu, Taysom. Wow. I can't believe this is fantasy football 2024.
And for sure, Tracy.
Yes, agreed.
Answer
the next question. Go ahead.
I'm going to say Jonnu Smith.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you then. I mean,
just because he's riding the hot hand. Once again, if you guys weren't here,
if we're riding the hot hand, why not Taysom Hill?
I mean, he just had more hot hand games. If that makes any sense.
Sure.
Taysom Hill has only had one one amazing game. 16
Sure.
points was great, sure,
Yeah.
but he had 42 points, and
Yeah.
that this is how crazy the tight end position is. Everyone, he had 42 points. He hasn't played in 4 games. He only has 2 games over double digits, and he is the tight end 13.
Yeah. Crazy.
I
I think he
I'll
missed
take
games
Thomas
too.
Smith. Yeah, he
Yeah,
missed 4 games.
I'm gonna rock with your call there as well. We did get a question to the website, and like we always say, if we ever get a question to the website, it'll be the one that's prioritized. We'll get back to YouTube here in a second. If you guys are out there and you want to prioritize your question, I'll put a link in the chat to our website. It's also the pinned comment. Jovian, it says, need help with the flex, or does the lineup look solid? So it's a 12-team start 7. They're starting Bo Nix, Tracy, Kamara, Higgins, Neighbors, Hawkinson. And at the flex, they're going Juwan Jennings right now. For me, due to the nature of that game's, just the weather, the outlook right now, like if this was in a dome, it'd be Juwan Jennings easily. I wouldn't second guess it at all. But it's a bad matchup against the Bills. We don't know what Brock Purdy's throwing abilities will be. The weather is bad. That's enough for me to pivot over to Devontae Adams.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. And look, it's not been good for Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. I guess you have to hope that the bye week has helped this team figure some things out. Aaron Rodgers will play, so we know Devontae is going to get his opportunities. That's the way I would lean there. But Aaron Rodgers recently on the Pat McAfee show said, "Hey, I feel fine. Injury isn't a problem right now." And, I mean, who knows if we can believe his word or not at this point. But, yeah. Cooper Walters is the next super chat. Says, if no Devonta, Dallas over Cade, D-Hop, Mooney. So I think that's a two-parter. Dallas or Cade Otton if there's no Devonta. If there's no Devonta, I do think you can start Dallas Goedert.
I thought that too, but he wasn't utilized, but they were just so dominant on the ground. I guess it was a Saquon game.
Yeah.
I guess this is a little bit better, tougher matchup on the ground when it comes down to running backs.
Yeah, I do still lean Cade Otton. You're right. I still lean that way. I was saying you can start Dallas Goedert as in like he's a startable name, but if I had to choose between these two names, I'm gonna go Cade Otton again. Divisional matchup. On paper, this should be a blowout, but that typically doesn't happen in divisional games. Now, it definitely can, but we know these guys, they play with a different intensity in these divisional games. So, yeah, it's a tough call, but I'll go Cade there. And then D-Hop Mooney. I would go Mooney if he plays.
I'm going to go Mooney as well. I think he's going to play.
I like that over-under, the Falcons-Chargers game, and D-Hop, he hasn't played over 50% of snaps in back-to-back games. I think he's touchdown or bust right now.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Cooper. Agent 49. He says wide receiver capped at 4 with Nikos, Jefferson, Debo, and Ladd. Trade deadlines passed. A league mate dropped Jaden Reed. Should I drop Debo for Reed? That's a great question.
So this is a small league, obviously.
This and the wide receivers are capped. I would do it. You know why? Playoff schedule. I think that's the breaker. Jaden Reed has a great playoff schedule. I'll tell you Debo's playoff schedule right now.
Debo has a pretty good one too from memory.
Yeah, Rams, Miami, Lions. So Lions are pretty good. Miami's technically a tough matchup. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I think Rams are middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Reed has Seahawks, New Orleans, and Vikings. So two should be a high-scoring game with Seahawks and Minnesota. New Orleans should be a blowout. And I guess every single game is going to be competitive there for Debo in the playoffs. But I mean, we thought that last week as well.
I wonder if Debo Samuel is dealing with an injury and they're just not reporting it. I mean, the 49ers are real sketchy with that kind of thing. I'm wondering if he's dealing with an injury and we just don't know.
Well, I feel like they had to report it. Wasn't that like a big thing with Bijan last year? Like, hey, he's going to be playing, never played a snap. And they were like, wait, what happened?
Oh, they got their ways. They got their ways. But, look, I'm going to agree with you. It's weird how both of these names we were so excited about in the first 4 weeks. And now we're not even sure if you can start them. But I'll lean Jaden Reed as well. There is like a bit of me that thinks, well, the Packers are probably under less pressure to win games and to go for it on fourth downs. Whereas Deebo Samuel and the Niners, they need to win every game. Car Chisel makes a good point here. Says they reported Fred Warner had a fractured ankle since week 4 just today. Yeah, like that's the kind of thing that this team is doing consistently. They're not very transparent.
Yeah,
but
that's so true.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I don't have a strong conviction on this question though. Scott Barrett's the next one. Flex PPR, TJ Hawkinson, Jennings, Hopkins, Dell, Gus Edwards. I'll go Hawkinson there in a PPR format.
I agree. Hawkinson.
Do you have any confidence in Gus Edwards this week? Is there a chance that Kamani Vidal becomes the starter? What's your opinion there?
I think Gus is going to be the lead back. I think he could fall into the end zone if there's an opportunity. But I don't think he'll be the pass catching back. I think Kamani could be that guy. But at the same time, I mean, wasn't JK and Gus, or, wasn't Gus hurt the whole time? And who did they have? They didn't bring up Kamani Vidal. They didn't really have anyone. They had Hassan Haskins there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is they have made Vidal a healthy scratch multiple weeks, and they've opted to put Hassan Haskins on the field as the third guy. So it's a bit weird, but Gus, you're right. He is touchdown or bust. And even if he gets a touchdown, he might bust. I mean, guys, last week he had a touchdown, but he averaged 1.2 yards per carry, had 11 yards. He's been one of the least efficient running backs in football this year. He did have a nice little run after the bye week, or after the injury, excuse me. But before the injury, he's averaging 2.3, 3.3, 3, 3.1. Again, a couple good games after the injury coming back, but in this game versus Baltimore, 1.2 yards per carry. We got some pretty tough matchups coming up too.
Yeah, it's tough. I would go TJ, but I can understand like Gus Edwards being an interesting. If you have an injured running, like if you have Breece Hall and you don't have anyone else, Gus Edwards is somebody you can plug in. But that's
I'm facing Joe in the Flock League, and I just, in case this matters to you guys, if you don't know, Joe is the coach of the year by far. I mean, the guy is winning games with the worst roster you've ever seen in fantasy football. He is in the playoffs, I think, but yeah, he is starting Gus Edwards and Kenneth Gainwell. That's not a joke. He's starting Gus Edwards and Kenneth Gainwell.
And for me, last week he freaking had Amir Abdullah. Everything just lined up.
So all I'm saying is, if you have Gus Edwards, there's a great possibility if Joe plays him. I'll keep you updated. But if Joe plays him, there's a great possibility it's a blow-up game for Gus Edwards. He might have 20 yards on 1 yard per carry, 20 attempts, and 3 touchdowns. Anyway. Yeah. Akshay, what's up, my man? Appreciate the love. And he's here with the super chat and says, Auten, Ingram, or Hunter Henry. If Trevor Lawrence is playing, this is probably Ingram for me. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, this is Hunter Henry. But looking at my rankings, these guys are back to back to back. So it's very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah, it is very difficult. I think Ingram will be last for me, even if Trevor plays. I like Cade Alton and Hunter Henry's matchup more. I technically have Cade Alton higher than Hunter Henry. I mean, I'm in this position in the Flock League. I have Cade Alton and Hunter Henry. Who do you start?
I would lead Hunter Henry. It's a great matchup against the Colts. I think the Patriots are going to be down, but it's close between Henry and Auten. With Ingram, the reason he would be my preference if Lawrence plays is because there's just nobody to throw the ball to outside of Ingram and Brian Thomas. I mean, everybody's dead outside of those guys, but it's a tough call. But that's how I would lean there, Akshay.
Appreciate you, man.
Kyle Singer's the next donation here. Says, did y'all know Sal was just on Yahoo Sports YouTube live streaming with a couple other dudes? Guess he's big time now. Pick Tua or Love. Happy holidays. No, honestly, Sal's been big time for a minute. But yeah, he's been doing Yahoo. I think this entire year.
This entire year, he's been partnered with them, which has been great. He's been killing it over there.
Yeah, it's been cool to see him with Matt Harmon as well. But yeah, obviously we're big fans of Sal and his work.
Yeah.
But Tua or Jordan Love, what do you think there?
I'm going J Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MIA. It's at Green Bay.
Green Bay at home.
Christian Watson dropped that wide open touchdown last week. That was crazy.
I just need Miami to stop the run, which, if I'm not mistaken, they are pretty decent at stopping the run.
Well, they're great at stopping wide receivers. That's the problem.
But they're also, I think they're just good stopping the run. No, as well.
No,
like above average.
They're a top 10 matchup for your running back.
Okay,
and
never
they
mind
are
then.
a bottom 10 matchup for your wide receiver.
Okay, say less.
But I agree with you. I would go Jordan Love. The only way I would, I'll go Jordan Love. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. They're back to back in my rankings. I don't have a strong conviction there, but I lean Love. It's just he's been
J5.
I don't know, man. Can I really do that? Like, I haven't really been tested on this question this week. In the last 3 weeks, Tua has had 3 games over 17 points, 2 games over 23 points. In the last 3 weeks for Jordan Love, it's been way worse. And the matchups haven't been very difficult. He's back to his ways where he's not completing a high percentage of his passes, but a lot of that is dropped passes. You can make an argument that Tua, with the weapons that Tua has available to him, is maybe a better play. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I do lean Tua, actually. Sorry, I'm going to change my answer.
That's okay.
I haven't been tested on that answer this week. So sometimes, you make your rankings, and then the rankings get better throughout the week because people ask you questions that test your rankings. So it's a tough one, but I'll lean Tua there. But it's going to be, that's tough because you're going to watch that matchup and you're going to be very right or wrong, and you'll know in the same matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Those are all of the super chats. Those are all of the questions through the website. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the love. Everybody who is supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. And, yeah, he does suck in the cold. That's a good point, Kyle. That is definitely something that we should consider. But what we'll do to end the stream today is we'll answer 5 questions at random. Again, this is your last chance to ask us a question before Thanksgiving, before Black Friday. We will be live on Saturday night, so keep that in mind. But this is your last chance to get a question in. So we'll do 5 questions at random to end the stream. And we've got a donation, by the way, here from Benjamin. And this is Thai Bot. I actually went to Thailand once for the honeymoon.
Did you?
So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you from Thailand.
Shout out to Thailand. Appreciate you, man.
Pick 2 for the flex. Pickens, Cook, Jacobs, Sutton, Irving, or Evans. Also have a nice Thanksgiving. Love from Thailand. You love to see it. So, what do we think? Definitely going to put Pickens in there. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Wait a second. We can only choose 2 of these names?
Yeah, this is tough.
Oh, my gosh. How do we choose 2 only? Oh, my God. I don't know what to do. Dude, there's not a single player I don't want to play here. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm just going to go, if this is PPR, high upside, Pickens, Evans. If this is standard, Jacobs, Cooks. If you just need a safe floor, Pickens, Sutton. Or Pickens, Irving. Sorry. Pickens, Sutton, or Irving. That's what I was saying.
I'm going to rock with your answer there. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Benjamin, this question is sets us up for failure. Not saying that you're a terrible person, just like all these guys should be started on your team.
You're not a terrible person at all. You're an awesome person. Thanks for the donation.
You are an awesome. All these guys should be started, but maybe you're in a smaller league. This might be like a 4-team or a 8-team league, 6-team league. I don't know.
Yeah. But the reality is this is why I see it. If anybody out there's listening and you're in an 8-team league or a 6-team league or even a 10-team league to an extent, if you're in those type of formats, don't have the starting lineup only be start 7. Like, go wild with the starting lineup. Make the starting lineup start 10, start 11. You have 3 to 4 to 5 flex spots, because otherwise every week you're going to be like, Who the hell do I start? I have no idea. And it's almost like you might as well play best ball in that format. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with Badaki here, Benjamin. I appreciate the support. That's a real tough one, and we appreciate you. All right, we're gonna answer 5 questions at random to end today's stream.
Number 1.
And
Go ahead.
numero uno. Let's see. Where's Kev? Yeah, Kev. My OKC Thunder, our OKC Thunder played today against the Warriors. I'm expecting a dub. No Steph Curry. I wish Curry was playing. I want to beat them with Curry. But he says Tracy and Auten for Bowers or Kittle. Got an opinion here. Tracy and Auten for Bowers or Kittle. I would take the Bowers side of this.
No, Mitchell, Brock injured long term. Yeah, I would take the Bowers side of this as well.
Didn't we have Aiden start a couple games? Can we look at that?
We did have Aiden start a couple games. I think he started I think the first 3 games of the season, if I'm not mistaken, and then he got benched.
No, he started week 6 is the only game he's actually like started and finished. What did Bowers do in week 6? Bowers in week 6 had 9 catches on 10 targets for 71 yards and 16 fantasy points. I mean, that's solid for a tight end. So yeah, I'll go Bowers, especially if you don't need Tracy, if you're in a small league, you know. So yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Again, we're answering 5 questions at random. All right. To end the stream, that's number 1. Number 2 is from John, and I just thought this was interesting. He says, thoughts on paying money under the table for players in dynasty leagues. I'll say this, strongly against it, because you're going outside the confines of actually building a team. You know,
hey, do you, you know, if you want to get your way, do you. I'm never going to stop a man getting for what he wants.
No, if I was a commissioner of a league and I found out someone did this, I'd probably kick them. Honestly, yeah. I'd probably kick you from the league. Yeah, you're taking the easy way out, in my opinion.
They won't know.
Everyone has the same rules. It's basically like playing Monopoly, but to start the game, you own what's the blue squares at the end? The 2 blue ones, those big hotels.
Hotels? Is it hotels?
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called, but
isn't like apartments, hotels, and then like building blocks? Building blocks. I don't know.
Have you played Monopoly before? It seems like I just said Monopoly and you never played it before. You're like, let me off the top of my head just like try to fit in.
No, they're hotels. Isn't it hotels?
Boardwalk. That's what it is. Thanks, Dom. It's Boardwalk.
You talking about the one? I thought you were talking about you said the little squares on the thing, as in like this. There's different levels to like upgrading. But that's actually on the back of the card. So maybe I'm getting that confused.
That's okay. Yeah. Look. Exactly. So, wow, what a great analogy I just brought. That took way longer than I thought it would. But basically, it's like you're playing Monopoly and you've already bought Boardwalk and it's upgraded completely. What makes Dynasty great is we all have a set of rules. You can build a team however you want and go. The best manager wins. But for you to just pay under the table, no, that's lame. That would be an instant kick for me if I found out.
Hey, do you, John? I ain't gonna stop you.
But yeah, if you want my honest opinion, John, you got it there. All right, that's question 2 out of 5. Let's go question 3 out of 5 at random again to end the stream today. Question 3 out of 5. Let's find someone I don't think we've talked to in a minute. Let's go Hunter Baldwin here. This is 3 out of 5. Hunter says, yo, what's up, guys? You heard anything on Amon-Ra? I just picked up Gus and Braylon. What are your thoughts on those 2 guys? I believe Amon-Ra is going to play. Every indication this week, both from the coaching staff and from himself, is that he's going to play. So I expect him to be out there. I expect him to play. As far as Gus and Braylon Allen, if Breece Hall misses this game, I would much rather start Braylon Allen over Gus Edwards. And Gus is he's a fall into an end zone type of player, but not going to win your week off of, if he doesn't have a touchdown, he'll bust. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, that's question 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Question 4 out of 5. I don't think I've ever heard from Christopher Green, so let's give him some love. He says, been holding Brooks all year. Just grabbed Allen. Other backs are Pollard, Achane, Kamara. Wait it out or drop for McNichols. Well, let's be honest. The only reason you roster McNichols is if you need a desperation play this week.
Yeah.
If you don't, there's no reason to roster him. Number one,
Yeah.
Brian Robinson might play and he might be useless. So he might not even be valuable this week. But number two, Eckler will probably be back next week. Maybe he misses 2 weeks with that concussion. I don't know. But so yeah, there's no need for McNichols unless, again, you need a desperation play. If he's not going to your lineup this week, you don't need him.
Say less. I agree.
All right, that
Don't
was 4.
That was 4 out of 5.
And this is 5 out of 5. This is the last one. This is the last
We did
one.
get a super chat, by the way.
Yeah, we'll do that super chat for sure.
We'll do that one.
Four. I want to answer everyone's, but we don't have the time. I gotta go scout the class, 2025 class. Let's go Unknown K-Man. I've never heard from Unknown K-Man either. He says, hey, I really need your help. I need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex. I have CMC, James Cook, Pollard, Tracy Pickens, Evans, Ladd, Terry, Choba. Holy hell. How are you supposed to make these decisions, man? Okay. I'm going to start CMC.
Yeah.
I'm going to start James Cook.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to
2 wide
start
receivers.
George Pickens.
Yeah,
I'm going
I'm
to
there
start
with
Mike
you.
Evans.
I agree. And a flex option.
And at flex, I'm going to play. Who does Chuba play? They play the Bucks.
They play the Bucks.
He feels like the safest play there.
Yeah, if you need a high upside play, I would play Terry technically. If you need a safe floor, I think Ladd and Chuba can be that. So it just depends on what you really need.
I love Ladd this week, but I'll go Chuba as a safe floor. But all right, that is 5 out of 5, and we will end today's stream on a super chat.
Thank you.
D Mid says, "Sup fellas, Baker or Herbert, Ladd or Collins?" So, first question, Baker or Herbert? I am gonna rock with Baker Mayfield this week. I do love Justin Herbert, I really do, but I mean, he's just been fantastic this year. He gets Mike Evans back, divisional game. It should be a little more competitive. The quarterback 5 on the year. Lost Chris Godwin, still been balling. And he's got a safe floor on the ground, too. It's been awesome to see him rushing the ball more. I mean, this is what the Cleveland Browns thought they were drafting. And then they traded him away. And unlucky. Imagine being... Okay. I don't care what team you're a fan of. Imagine if you were a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm not sure it could get worse.
I was just like, yeah. I mean, it could be Saquon and the Giants.
I think the Browns are in a worse position. I really do.
Well, yeah, we're never going to play Saquon. I agree. Give me Baker Mayfield. This has been phenomenal. He should continue to do great things this year. We love Justin Herbert, like Zach said, and then Ladd or Nico Collins. You start your stars in Nico Collins there. Ladd, depending on the options, could be started, but we will start Nico over Ladd McConkey this week.
Yeah, just can't sit Nico. Almost 32 points last week if that touchdown wasn't called back. I mean, Danny still would have lost in the Flock League. I don't know why he was saying that it would have mattered. He still would have lost. But I'm not salty. But
he's salty as hell.
But yeah, I mean, don't call yourself the CEO of Fantasyland and then complain about a play getting called back, which it wouldn't impact the outcome, would it? No, I appreciate it. I love you, Danny. Anyway, yeah, we'll go Nico Collins. He's a superstar. Danny was right about that. Danny made the right trade at the beginning of the year. I mean, we roasted him, but he made the right move. That's it, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. We love you. Again, if you do need a question answered before Thursday night, we'll still be tuned to the website. You can still pop a question in over there with the link I just put in the chat. It's also in the description. But we appreciate y'all big time. Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you get to hang out with your friends, with your family. Maybe get a little, some deals on Black Friday, whatever the case may be. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you soon. Start sits are out. The stars of the week, nuclear videos out. Go check it out. And we'll see you soon. Much love.
Love.